Oklahoma continues to boast the highest rate of female incarceration in the country. That record number served as the inspiration for photographer Yousef Khanfar's latest project, Invisible Eve. His book combines his photographs of Oklahoma's female inmates with their words in an effort to give them back a voice and a face in society. In this excerpt from Oklahoma Forum, Khanfar talks about his project, and one of his subjects opens up about her photograph.
Yusuf, what inspired you to take on this project?
Actually, I was twofold caused me to do this project. One of them was traveling from Dallas to New York, and I sat down next to this female CEO, and we got to talk about different part of the country and all that stuff. And she said something that stuck with me in my mind. And she said we were planning to expand our business, our company to Oklahoma, but we decided not to. And I said, why? She said, because you guys have the #1 incarceration per capita for women per capita. And she mentioned something like we are like the second state still in the worst place for women. And she has a workforce of over 65%. And she did not feel as a CEO to move her company or expand in Oklahoma. And when I got to New York, I got to think about this. And I wanted to do something about it. So I started the project back then. The other reason I feel is because I feel we as men, I feel we have responsibility to be involved in this project. Many of the ladies that I photographed found that they were in prison because of a husband, boyfriend, fiance that got them involved in either drugs or some kind of crime. So as men, I feel we have responsibility to do something.
What was your concept for the book?
The concept of the book, for me to create the simplicity in my art, I have to go understand the complexity of the subject. So I spend lots of time to understand the subject first. Then I found out that it is complicated, but the solutions, we do have solutions here in Oklahoma. So I decided, as a photographer, what we do as artists, we show people where to look, but we don't tell them what to see. So from an art point of view, I want them to see the females as human beings. I want them to see them with their children. I want to give them a voice that they can share with us, with the next generation about some of the words of wisdom they have from their misfortune experience. And I just want to give them a voice that they never had a chance to do so.
Susan, Yusuf established the predicate for the high incarceration rate in Oklahoma leading to this book. Why do we incarcerate so many women in Oklahoma?
That's such a difficult question to answer because there are a lot of different reasons, but to put it very briefly, I would say that we have laws on our books that are not functional. We have, I was explaining to Yusuf right before this started that one of the things we have is our definition of drug trafficking is based on amount. In other words, you can be convicted as a drug trafficker not because you ever sold drugs or gave them to anyone, but because you were caught with a certain amount. And in the case of crack cocaine, it's 5 grams, a tiny amount. So many women who are addicted are sent to prison for long, long terms as drug traffickers.
Are those the most common offenses?
The drug offenses are definitely the most common offenses in the Department of Corrections in this state. Over half the women are in on some kind of drug charge, either possession or trafficking charge. And then that's followed by larceny and hot checks. And those are the lion's share of the women there. These are not serious offenders. These are not dangerous women. These are women who are poor, who've been abused, and many of them are addicted.
Kela Miller, how did you wind up in prison at Mabel Bassett?
I grew up in an active addict mom. She just showed me, nothing but drugs was the life to live. It followed me on into my teenage years. It followed me into my 20s. And then, I started having kids of my own. And they were seeing me deteriorate, slowly but surely. And I was showing them, things that they shouldn't be seeing. I mean, drugs led to white-collar crimes, to forgery, checks, just like she was saying. And that's how I ended up at Mabel Bassett.
Yusuf took your photo with your children. Let's take a look at the photo. Tell us, what do you think when you see that photograph?
I see, in a way, it's sadness. That the 3 kids, you know, depended on me as their mom. And I feel like I had let them down at that point.